Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this is Seconda's Diary. I make sewing tutorials, especially for beginners. This tutorial I'm going to make this summer dress. I made mine with Ankara fabric and a black cotton lining. It's easy to make. The measurements you're going to need is your shoulder measurement, armhole measurement, waist measurement, the length of your dress. So make sure you get your fabrics ready. To find out how much fabric you're going to need, just use your waist measurement for the top part. That is, use your waist measurement and add 2 inches. So for my lining measures about 12 inches by my waist measure, half of my waist measurement, because that's going to be for the front. And then for the bottom part, which is the skirt part, it's double my waist measurement, because the bottom part is going to be gathered, so double the waist measurement. That will be for the front, and then the back will be your waist measurement. And I'll just explain in details why. There's so much information here, but if you could just follow what I'm doing, but it's important you get, so the length of your skirt and your waist measurement for the back, and the front is double your waist measurement. So first we're going to start with our lining for the top part of our dress. We're going to measure, sorry, some of it is not showing. I'm just measuring my half of my shoulder measurement. Half of my daughter's shoulder measurement is 4.5, and then now I'm just going to measure 4.5, which is the armhole measurement. Armhole measurement is 9 inches. Half of that is 4.5. So 4.5 for the shoulder and 4.5 for the armhole. This is for a 3-year-old girl, so that's the measurement for a 3-year-old girl. Okay, and we're just going to cut that out. So remember, our folded fabric is the measurement of the front of our so half of your waist measurement, when you half of my daughter's waist measurement is 11 inches. When you fold this, 5.5, and then I add another 1 inch, which makes it 6.5 when folded. So that's how you get that measurement for the fabric you're going to use. And then the top part of the dress measures 9 inches. I'm going to add 1 inch extra, which makes it 10 inch. So the fabric for the top part that I used is 6.5 when folded, or should I say 13 by 10 inches. I hope that makes sense. I'm just going to cut out the straps for the dress, and I'm making it 1.5 wide, because it's going to be a thin strap, right? 1.5 inches by, I made mine about 30 inches long. You can make it longer if you want. What I tend to do is just use like the length of the dress plus few inches, but you can double that if you, it depends how long you want the strap to be. So I'm just gonna fold it halfway like that, and the other side as well, fold it in on each end, on each side, and then fold it again in the middle like that. And we're just going to sew all the way across like so. And I'm just going to cut that into 2. I think it's easier that way anyway, instead of having to do 2 separate ones. So I'll grab the top part of the dress. I'm just going to measure half an inch away from the edge, like that, and just place our strap there. So make sure it's half an inch away from the edge, because once you sew that in, we're still going to sew the ends together, so it's just leaving enough space to sew the actual fabric. So there you go. That's one strap in and the other one under one there as well. And just sew along like that, around like so. Leave the sides, leave those two sides. Yeah, so it's just this part you're sewing. I've done that, just showing you what I've done. So there you go. Make sure you iron your fabric. Because I was in a rush, I didn't really iron as I was sewing, but it's best to iron as you go along. Now we're just going to cut out 4.5 inch fabric. Going to need 2 of those, so I've folded mine. I'm cutting 2 at once, so 4.5 by 4.5, and this will be for the back. So to get that measurement, you know, if you're not the same size or you're not making this for a 3-year-old, to get that measurement, I'll just say 1/4 of your waist measurements and just take away about 2 inches from that, and I think that should work. Most part of this sewing is really just going with the flow. I'm not an expert when it comes to sewing, so anyway, the strap that I've just cut, those are 3 inches long, and that would be where your strap will go into. That would be like a loop. So we've got 8 of those. So I'm just going to sew the top of our fabric like that. As you can see, we've got the lining and the fabric. So they're 4.5 by 4.5. And now we're going to measure where the straps will go. So first you measure half an inch from the bottom, away from the bottom. So half an inch, you start half an inch away from the bottom, and then you mark 1 inch apart. So each strap will be 1 inch apart from each other. Doing the same for the other one. 1 inch, 1 inch. Okay, just fold your tiny straps and add it raw edge to raw edge. I'm just going to pin it down. I'll do it this way, or you could just sandwich it with your lining at once and pin it together, but I find it easier to do it this way. I'll pin it first, put my lining fabric over, hold it in place, take out the pin, and then pin it with it one at a time. I'm just going to sew along like so. There you go. And just turn it right side out. Make sure that you iron this so it looks nice and neat. Okay. There you go. Now, I was actually supposed to attach this. So this, it will look something like this once we attach it, but I'll show you how to attach it in a minute. I'm just showing you what that part was for. Be at the sides like that, so we go to the back like so. Right, so here is the front part of the bottom of our dress, which we'll call the skirt. So I've gathered, because it's doubled my waist measurement, so I've gathered it to half of my waist, my daughter's waist measurement. Right, so that will be for the front. And the length of this skirt, should I call it, the length of it is 15 inches. That's same allowance included, because I want it to be over the knee. Right, so I'm attaching the skirt to the top part, right sides facing each other. But I shouldn't have done that yet, but like I told you, I'm freestyling, so I'm just showing you that you don't have to be an expert, you know, to sew something. If you have an idea, just go with the flow. So I'm just going with the flow here, but I realized I shouldn't have attached it yet. I should have attached the strap loops that I did first before attaching this part. I realized anyway before I sew it, so I took the so as you can see, I'm doing that now. I'm attaching the back piece. So seams first, where the seams are first, you join those first, and then just join the fabrics right sides facing each other, and then we're just going to sew. Sorry, the you know what, you can't even see some of the things that I'm doing. I'm so sorry. But basically it looks like that. The camera angle, I'm still playing around with it, and because I'm using my phone, I can't see what I'm recording after time, because I've just purchased this tripod thing that you can place, that can sort of hang over the top or something, so I can't really see, you know, what I'm doing after time. But this is what it looks like so far. Right, so now we have the back. Remember, the back is your waist measurement plus 1 inch. So your waist measurement plus 1 inch, because, or should I say, half of your waist measurement plus 10 inches. Reason being is I'm going to add elastic at the back. Yeah, so that extra 10 inch will be the elastic gather. Once the elastic gathers, it will gather to about 10 inch. So yeah, so I'm just inserting my elastic to the casing. Okay, make sure you pin your elastic down so it doesn't escape, and then pin the other side, and we're just going to attach the back to the front. As you can see, there's our elastic. just going to attach it to the front. I should have done all this before I attached that the gathered part to the top. I should have done all this first, but you learn on the job. I'm learning on the job. So we're just going to sew that across like that, and then the other side, make sure it's right sides facing each other. Sew across. If you have a serger or overlocker, perfect. You just overlock all the raw edges. I do have a serger, but every time I try to use it, it just doesn't work for me. It starts off well and then it just messes up halfway. So I really don't have time. I do not have time for this. I do not have time for you. But yeah, I need to find time to actually sit down with that thing and get it popping. But yeah, so if you do have overlocker, if not, if you don't have an overlocker, that's fine too. Just use your zigzag stitch to finish off all the raw edges. So I'm just folding in the raw edges like that. Fold it in. Make sure you take your time, make it nice and neat, and then use the lining, fold the raw edge of the lining in, and then use it to cover the raw edge of where we've joined the skirt to the top, like that. Okay, this is the last part, guys. It's so easy. Well, almost last part. Still going to finish off the edges, the M, and we're going to finish off the straps as well. But we're nearly there. It's so easy to make. It's just, I know sometimes it's the measurements that can get people confused, but honestly, it's not that hard. So like I said, for the waist measurement, for the top, let's start for the top part. You're going to need your waist measurement plus 2 inches. That 2 inches will be your seam allowance, and then the length of your bodice. So where you want the skirt to meet the top, where you want the joining to be. Yeah, so that's for the first part. The bottom part, the front part of the bottom part is twice your waist measurement, and then the length of the skirt, right? And the back part is half of your waist measurement plus 10 inches, because you're going to insert elastic, and then obviously will be the length of your skirt. And yeah, and you get lining as well. And then the strap could be double the length of your dress or the length of your dress, but I think you can make it double. It's nicer when it's longer. You can tie a nice bow and things like that. But yeah, that's it really. I hope this video makes sense to you, and I think sometimes you have to sort of watch the video first, and then when you're making yours, watch it again whilst you're making your dress or whatever the video is about. I think it's easier that way. With me, I'm a visual learner as well as a kinesthetic learner, so I learn from watching and learn from doing, so that's why I've given you that tip, because that's what works for me. I like to watch what you're doing and then I'll try it out as well. So give it a go. Trust me, it's straightforward. Don't overthink it. you know, it's easier than you think. If I can do it, you can. I'm still new to this and I'm just showing you guys how to do it. Thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate all your support. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. I look forward to seeing your comments of what you've enjoyed about the video, and if you think anyone can benefit, please do share. Take care. Bye.